Hey, everyone tuning in from all corners of the United States. I'm here today with a message that's going to shake the very foundations of what you thought you knew. Pause for a moment and ask yourself, are you really ready for what's on the horizon? You eventualize we barely dared to whisper about. The contingencies we've meticulously prepped for are almost upon us. What if I were to reveal that the unimaginable is not just a possibility, but a looming reality? Today, I come to you with vital insights, an urgent briefing that could redefine our future. It's time to steel ourselves. The plans in motion for us are beyond anyone's wildest predictions in these turbulent times. The surprising surge in consumer debt. Brace yourselves because we're about to unravel an astonishing twist in the tale of American consumer behavior. Imagine flipping through your wallet only to realize that collectively we've stacked up a jaw-dropping $23.75 billion in additional borrowing in just one wild November. Now, if you thought that was a typo, think again. This figure didn't just surpass predictions. It catapulted past them, doubling what experts forecasted. But hold on, because the drama doesn't end here. This frenzy of financial flexing has propelled the total outstanding credit balances beyond the unfathomable threshold of $5 trillion for the very first time in history. Sit with that number for a moment. $5 trillion. It's more than just a figure. It's an epic saga of splurge that's weighing heavily on countless shoulders, threatening the very fabric of our economy. Because if that weren't gripping enough, here's the kicker amidst the glitter of holiday spending. With credit card swiping and buy now, pay later deals sealing, we've sprinted towards a stark reality. Delinquencies are skyrocketing, hitting their peak since 2012. This isn't just a yellow light. It's a glaring red alarm signaling that many might be tiptoeing along the edge of their financial precipice. But wait, there's more. This storyline twists further when we tie it to corporate coffers swelling with profits. Thanks to a spending spree in the pandemic, shadow businesses have been basking in profit margins higher than the skyscrapers. Lurking beneath this golden is a potential plot twist. What happens when the spending spree screeches to a halt? Choked by maxed out credit lines and mountains of debt, reduced consumer spending could spell a chilling epilogue for these profits, pushing companies into a corner. Will they resort to drastic action, layoffs, slashing budgets, or pulling back on investments? The domino effect of such decisions could send ripples far and wide. And therein lies the burning question. As the financial landscape tightens its grip, what bold moves are companies planning to weather this storm? How will they safeguard their profits and at what cost? And most crucially, how will the average American dance through this tightening financial noose? The mortgage maze. Imagine stepping into a world where very foundation of home ownership is shaking. Welcome to today's mortgage market saga. The CEO of Bank of America isn't just whispering in the wind. He's sounding a massive alarm bell. Pictures like when those daunting bank rates tick upwards, the once eager queue for loans suddenly dwindles to a trickle. This troubling scenario isn't some distant worry on the horizon. It's happening right here, right now. Demand is nosediving, and this dip isn't just a temporary glitch in the system. We're witnessing a trend that's unfolding like a slow motion drama. But here's the twist in the tale. Even as the housing market catches its breath, building permits are skyrocketing for your timeline. Why is this? You ask. It seems our builders are harboring a wellspring of optimism, perhaps even tipping into the realm of the overly confident. They're drawing up blueprints and laying the groundwork for new dreams, pushing permit applications to a staggering 1.5 million pace. The quest for the American dream is alive as applications for single-family homes soar to numbers not seen since the vibrant days of May 2022. But here's where the plot thickens. This surge of builder enthusiasm could be sailing into stormy seas. If the loan landscape is drying up and we've got cranes dotting the skyline, aren't we staring down the barrel of a potential housing surplus? And in the grand theater of economics, when supply overshadows demand, what follows? A scene where prices take a nosedive. This could very well usher in a scenario where builders weighed down by unsold homes slash prices in a desperate bid to clear the decks. This cliffhanger leaves us wondering, could this be the prelude to a downward spiral in real estate values? And there's a broader stage to consider as mortgage rates balloon. Are these brand new homes slipping out of reach for the average buyer? This dilemma throws the sustainability of the housing market into the spotlight. If the consumer brigade begins to retreat, feeling the sting of those higher rates, the aftershocks could ripple across the entire economic landscape. But wait, there's yet another layer to this unfolding drama. The role of the banks, the very pillars of our housing dreams, these financial institutions are at the heart of the narrative. They're the maestros orchestrating the symphony of mortgages and construction projects. But if the real estate realm hits a sour note, how will the banks fare? Remember, a substantial slice of a bank's portfolio is intimately intertwined with real estate. Should defaults rise and property values take a tumble, banks could find themselves navigating a treacherous financial storm. 3. Now, if you thought that was all, hold on to your hats, because we're about to dive even deeper into the rabbit hole of spending habits. Precisely, the United States, individuals are throwing caution to the wind, indulging in what's been termed doom spending. Says a wave of spend now, worry laters has swept over the nation. But peel back the layers, and you'll find this isn't just mindless splurging. It's a complex coping mechanism with economic instability hanging over us like a dark cloud. It's no wonder folks are finding solace in retail therapy. But yeah, this isn't your everyday shopping spree. It's an escapade with potentially dire consequences. Imagine for a moment the irony of the situation. In a period where logic screams for saving, people are dancing on the edge, spending with abandon. Credit card debts are ballooning, and the cushion of savings is thinning out, pushing the dream of financial security further into the horizon. But wait, there's a plot twist. This spree is unfolding while the ghost of vanished excess savings haunts the scene. Talk about a paradox. Here's the million-dollar question. Are we collectively digging ourselves into a deeper financial trench with every swipe of the card? Are we inching closer to igniting a more significant economic meltdown? Financial gurus and banks are watching this trend with bated breath. And so should we, as a spectacle of denial and subconscious rebellion wrapped into one, painting a vivid picture of the societal anxiety shadowing our economic decisions? This isn't just another headline grabbing trend. It's a mirror reflecting our deepest fears and uncertainties. And as we stand at this crossroads, the choices we make today, whether to continue on this path of doom spending or to take a step back and rethink our strategies, could very well sculpt the economic landscape of our future. The stakes are high and the drama intensifies. So as we stand on the brink, one has to wonder, what's the next chapter in this saga of financial high stakes? Are we flirting with disaster, or will there be a twist in the tale? For now, here is where things take a riveting twist. Picture this. The New York Factory Index didn't just take a nosedive, it practically plummeted off a cliff to its lowest mark since May 2020. Folks, we're not talking about some tiny blip on the radar. It was staring down the barrel, a full-blown contraction within the manufacturing heart of the US. But wait, it gets juicier. This grim portrait hints at a much larger storm brewing on the horizon for the labor market. Imagine a domino effect. First, manufacturing hits a wall, then orders vanish, backlogs shrink, and, well, businesses have to make the tough call. It's like watching dominoes fall. One goes and they all start tumbling. And yes, that often means layoffs. Fewer hands needed means more folks facing uncertainty. Now hold on to your seats. You might have caught wind of the jobless claims hitting an all-time low since September 2022. Sounds like great news, right? But here's where the plot thickens. These numbers, while shiny on the surface, are precisely that surface level. When you peel back this layer, the reality is a tad more complex, especially when we sift through the seasonally adjusted versus the non-seasonally adjusted figures. Here's the kicker. Initial claims on non-seasonally adjusted basis spiked by almost 19,000 in 1 week, then plummeted by 29,000 the next. That's swinging harder than a pendulum in a grandfather clock. And while everyone's cheering on the surface numbers, the total amount of Americans relying on some form of unemployment just surged by 200,000, touching 2.13 million. But wait, there's more. What really sends shivers down my spine is this glaring question. What if, beneath the glitzy veneer of seasonally adjusted numbers, the labor market's foundation is cracking? This massive discrepancy between reported figures and the actual situation on the ground screams caution. It's a massive waving neon red flag signaling that all may not be as rosy in the job market as it appears. And just when you thought it couldn't get any more dramatic, enter stage left. the Federal Reserve. Remember Brian Moynihan from Bank of America? He's sounding alarm bells, suggesting the Fed's aggressive rate hikes could be playing with fire, potentially tossing the labor market into the deep end. Flashback to the 1970s and 80s, history shows us a chilling pattern. When the Fed pushes too hard, layoffs aren't far behind, leading to a sharp spike in initial claims. The scenario Moynihan fears could be our reality, painting a stark reminder that history, especially in economics, has a habit of repeating itself. In the intricate dance between employment figures and the Federal Reserve's decisions, we find ourselves perched on a precipice. The question now isn't just about the state of manufacturing or the seasonally adjusted gloss over employment figures. 5. Picture this, sounds like a scene straight from an apocalyptic blockbuster, but at a recent high-stakes economic forum, whispers of a new health crisis, dubbed Apply X, began to stir the crowd into uneasy murmurs. This isn't your run-of-the-mill flu. Outbreak.
Yeah.
We're talking about something straight out of a horror show with people transforming into what can only be described as zombies.
Yes.
You got that right. Imagine the eerie, desolate world of The Last of Us, or the relentless dread of The Walking Dead becoming our new reality. But the burning question is, just how close are we to facing such a chilling scenario? Now, consider this. When these elite gatherings start buzzing about potential nightmares, history shows us they often have a way of creeping into reality. This discussion isn't a fluff piece intended to send shivers down your spine for entertainment. Instead, it's a stark wake-up call urging us to peek into a future where our preparedness is tested like never before. And it doesn't stop at the outbreak. Reflect for a moment on the domino effect such a crisis would trigger. Imagine the tidal wave of demand for products geared towards surviving such an ordeal. Long life foods that can sit on your shelf for 25 years become more valuable than gold. And as whispers of this crisis grow louder, we've seen a noticeable uptick in emergency preparedness, from stocking up on those almost eternal food supplies to investing in self-powered heating solutions. The public's response is telling. After all, in an apocalypse, the convenience of a flicked switch for warmth or a quick run to the grocery store becomes a nostalgic memory of easier times. But there's more at stake than just survival gear. Amidst an already teetering economy, how would an event of this magnitude shake our financial foundations, from the security of our savings to the stability of job markets? Everything we've known could be on the... In a world where stepping outside is a gamble, the implications for businesses from towering corporations to the corner store are monumental. While it may seem like we've wandered into the dystopian section of a bookstore, these discussions at the Economic Forum were anything but fictional. The scenario of Apply X might sound like a fantastical leap, but the underlying message is crystal clear. The future is uncertain, and perhaps it's time we start preparing for the unimaginable. Six, now strap in, because what we're about to dive into is not just groundbreaking, it's revolutionary, and it's happening right here at home and also up north in Canada. Imagine opening your mailbox to find a check, not from your long-lost relative, but from the government, no strings attached. That's right. Cities like Long Beach and entire countries like Canada are blazing trails with something called guaranteed income programs, dishing out millions to families who need it most. It's a game changer, folks, but it begs the question, how does it affect our economy and, more importantly, our society in the long haul? Is this movie a genius antidote, a poverty, or a well-intentioned yet fleeting fix to a deeper crisis? Critics and supporters are locked in a fierce debate. Picture this, a world where every adult over 17 gets enough money to live on courtesy of Uncle Sam, or should I say Uncle Canada. It's like a dream. Well, it could be our reality with universal basic income, UBI, but wait, there's a catch. Free money sounds tantalizing, but someone's got to foot the bill. Will it be you and me through taxes, or will the money printers go brr, sparking fear of inflation? And here's where it gets juicy. If governments start handing out cash, what's that going to mean for our motivation to work? Could we see a drop in productivity, or perhaps a new definition of what work means to us? It's not just about the economy. It's about how we see ourselves and our place in the world. There's a certain pride in earning your keep, but are we on the brink of redefining dignity and purpose in our work lives? But before we get ahead of ourselves, remember, all this talk about UBI and guaranteed income doesn't just pop out of thin air. We're in the thick of recovering from global upheavals that have left scars on economies and families alike. People are hurting, and these bold measures are an attempt to ease that pain. But will they work as intended, or are we heading into uncharted waters with no compass. In conclusion, the scenarios we've explored today, from the ominous foreboding of apply X to the revolutionary potential of universal basic income, present us with a complex tapestry of challenges and opportunities. The specter of the health crisis turning our world into a dystopian landscape, and the bold economic experiments attempting to mend the rifts in our societies are not mere speculative fiction. They are plausible futures that demand our attention, preparation, and debate. It's clear that the path ahead is fraught with uncertainty, but it's also ripe with the promise of innovation and transformation. Now, we turn the microphone over to you. What are your thoughts on the potential impacts of a crisis like Apply X or the implementation of universal basic income? Can we truly prepare for the unimaginable, and is the cost of such preparation a price we're willing to pay? Don't forget to like this video if you found our discussion thought-provoking, and subscribe to our channel for more insights into the future of our world. Your support and engagement are what fuel our quest for understanding and exploration. Share your thoughts in the comments below. Let's start a conversation about shaping the future we wish to see.